The tale of Batman is one of pain and loss. Batman as a child had his world shattered in Crime Alley. That pain molded him to wish to protect the innocent. This was his mission. His family was taken from him. He had no time to build a new one. All along, he was still grieving. Hey everybody, my name is Winter Summer, and I want to talk about Batman and his sons. Now, you may be wondering, doesn't Batman only have one son? No. Genetically, yeah, sure. But no, he's got four of them. And you know them as the four main Robins. First, there's Dick Grayson. Now, he was the first one in Batman's career. You know, the earliest sidekick, the first sidekick, some would argue. Now, he helped Bruce realize that there was a kid going through exactly what he went through as a child, watching his parents taken away from him right before his eyes, and knew that if he could help him solve the murder, bring justice to his family, that he would be able to save Dick Grayson.
Robin needed to help bring the men who murdered his family to justice.
So he could turn out like you?
So that he wouldn't.
He is the best of them all. But of course they had their disagreements. Batman could never let go of his trauma, his past. Batman needs that trauma. So he left. Dick Grayson, not wanting to be a part of this anymore, went out on his own as Nightwing. After Dick leaves to be Nightwing, Batman finds Jason Todd stealing the wheels off of the Batmobile. What a ballsy kid, by the way. Jason Todd, man's got the cojones, that's for sure. Jason Todd, is hurting as well. He lost his mother, and his father's not a great guy. So Batman thinks he can help Jason the same way he helped Dick, but he didn't realize the kind of internal turmoil Jason was already struggling with.
I know I failed you, but I tried to save you, Jason. I'm trying to save you now.
That may have been rough on Batman. Kind of the extreme ideal of what Batman could be, until he was taken away from him. Batman realized in that moment how dangerous the job really was. That someone close to him can be taken away, can be hurt, and there was nothing he could do about it. Enter Tim Drake. Tim realizes, after Jason goes missing as Robin, Batman becomes very violent because he hasn't been able to forgive himself for the death of Jason. See, the death of Jason really taught Batman that there was a price to the job, and that he needed to spend more time weeding out the issues in his teammates. But that was time spent away from the mission. So he seeked no one but hurt. Now, Tim Drake is a great detective. He figured out that Batman and Nightwing were both Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson, all on his own. Since he was there at the night of the accident of the Flying Graysons, and he witnessed similar moves done by both Robin and by Nightwing. He teaches Batman that he needs to trust in people again. That he has to let them in. That he can't be this angry monster. This guy who wants that he can have a family. That he can let a family in. Enter Damian Wayne. A lot like Bruce, if he was a child, it teaches Batman not only that he has a family, but it kind of shows Batman everything that is wrong with himself. Angry, vengeful, definitely skilled, too smart for his own good, no trust in others. And by facing those things in Damian, he's facing those things in himself, asking himself if those things are really working or not. And newsflash, they aren't. I would love to see a world where Batman gets to heal from his trauma, because that's really what Damian Wayne represented, is the trauma that can be healed. As Bruce Wayne once said to Damian, Dick is a clearer version of what Batman is meant to be. He's Batman without all the vengeance, with hope for the world, with trust in the world that people can be better, can be good, and that people come first. Jason is willing to do what Batman can't, especially when the world needs it most. Batman will never be able to pull the trigger, do certain things because it's out of his morality. But that's exactly what the Red Hood represents. Out of that. Tim has a strategic sense that even he is jealous of. He always makes the right decision and knows when to act perfectly. Every time. Following Bruce Wayne's death, there is a story arc called Battle for the Cowl, where each of his sons took up being the Batman, as well as some other characters around the city of Gotham. And they each kind of represent a piece of Batman when they went for the cowl. Dick becomes the Batman without all the trauma, the Batman that is good for the city, the one people can trust in. Jason becomes the vengeance aspect, separate from Dick Grayson. He is the antithesis to Dick Grayson. Everything he is not. He uses a gun, he kills, and Dick uses batons, even less lethal than batarangs. Tim briefly takes the cowl as Batman until he gets stabbed in the chest, but, he also realizes that there's a detective work to be done out there. He is the explorer and the detective within Batman, the one that needs to leave Gotham. Damian, however, does remain as Robin, because, he's a bit young to be a Batman. But he and Dick Grayson represent the best version of the dynamic duo. A skillful sidekick, but still able to get the job done, even though he can be a little arrogant sometimes. And Dick being the hopeful Batman, the one that can make mistakes. However, he still gets the job done, and he always puts people first. The superhero, Batman. Now, all that to say what they represent in Batman, but Batman does need them. He needs his sons. The way they shaped and molded him over the years, making him able to trust people again, even if it's only a little bit, and in his own Batman way. They all get him, and they'll speak all of the languages they need to be able to get through to him. When someone needs to talk sense into Batman, if none of these boys are around, they ain't sense getting talked into him. These guys will beat some sense into him if they need to. So anyway, yeah. Maybe we'll talk more about the Robins at another time. For now, check you later.